When you're dealing with somebody who has a mental health condition, and I mean like a lover or a husband or a wife or something like that, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, somebody you're in a relationship with, when they have a mental health disorder, basically it's kind of like you both are dealing with it. You're both living with this disorder. So over the weekend, I had a woman contact me because her husband, an Aquarius, has bipolar disorder. Okay. Now the wife is a very very nice lady. She's a Scorpio, and she told me that their relationship is a good one, but her problem is that he has this mental health diagnosis that he's had since he was a teenager, but he refuses to be treated for it. So she has quite the dilemma. She loves him. She's been in this relationship with him for years. She does not want to walk away from him, but his mental health condition is keeping them from moving forward in life. You know, he does all kind of erratic things like quit jobs at an impulse, spend money that they've been saving, stuff like that, you know? And she really cares about him, and she doesn't want to leave him. She wants him to get treatment for his mental health disorder that makes all of this shit happen, you know? And what she's asking me is, what can she do in this situation? So as you can see, we got a very serious situation. So we're going to try to help this Scorpio. Okay, you are all going to try to help her. We're going to give her. I'm going to give her what I think, and then you're going to give her what you think in the comment section if you have a good idea, and hopefully we can help her um, deal with this situation. Okay, so let me do the introduction, and then I'm going to tell you some more, and we're going to decide what we can say to this nice Scorpio. Okay. I'm Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it too. Also, if you have time, stick around to the end because I'm going to discuss two positive comments from previous videos. If you would like to get a reading done, please email me. If you would like to talk to me on social media, my email and all my social media, my Patreon information, all of that is underneath this video. Okay? So, this is the bottom line. Scorpio wife, Aquarius husband. Aquarius was diagnosed with bipolar disorder as a teenager. Aquarius has never been treated for bipolar disorder. Okay? When she first met the Aquarius, you know, they had a regular relationship. He did some things that she thought were strange, such as he, to this day, sleeps a lot, you know. And when she asked him about it, he didn't give her a reason. But as she watched him over the years, she realizes that his sleeping is his way of escaping. So he sleeps to escape whatever hurt or pain or whatever he's feeling. And this is very common for people who go through depression. When I went through depression, I slept all the time. As a matter of fact, I was exhausted all the time. And I found out from my therapist that depression does that to you. I personally think it might be the body's mechanism to help you when you're overwhelmed, because I would just find myself exhausted even after I just woke up, you know. And it wasn't anemia, it wasn't my health. Like I was like, well, maybe it's my blood, my circulation, my heart. Because during that same time, one of the things I noticed was when I breathed deeply, I could feel a pain in my heart. And I thought it was a heart condition. And when I found out it wasn't, then I was like, this is emotional. This is my heart chakra. And that's when I pieced it together. But it took me a little bit of time. So anyway, back to the woman with her husband and how we can help. She wants to know, what do we think he should do? Well, what should she do? Because this is the thing. They've been together all this time. His behavior, his erratic behavior, she said that sometimes he's in depressions, sometimes he's manic. And when he's manic, he's in a good mood, but he's not in really a rational mood. So when he's manic, he'll quit a job that he doesn't like, even though they need the money. Or he'll spend money that they've been saving for something important. Or he'll do something impulsive, like trading his car, and now he has a higher car note and you not even working. Stuff like that. Or you just got this new job, or stuff like that. She said he's done over the years. So she said to me, what can she do about this? And my thing is this. You can't make a person address their health, mental health, physical health. You can't make a person address it. All you can do, especially in Aquarius, you can't make an Aquarius do anything. All you can do is discuss it logically with the person until they understand that it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Okay? I know you don't want to walk away from him, but he might make you. You might have to walk away from him, because if his behavior is messing with your quality of life to the point where, she was telling me that 6 months ago, he took the rent money and used it to buy some video game. He wanted some video game and some other stuff that go with the game and a controller for the game and some dumb stuff. And he spent not all of it, but a large part of their rent money. So then she didn't know about it. So then he went and gave the money, the part that was left, he gave it to the landlord. And thinking that he can, make it back up, borrow it, do something before she knew about it. Well, the landlord already knows that he does impulsive things like this. So the landlord emailed the wife and said, your rent was only half paid. I'm going to let it slide, but I just wanted you to know. So she was pissed, because not only did you not pay the rent, all of the rent, you took a portion for something that you didn't need. And when she asked him, how did he get the game and controller and all that stuff, he lied to her. So you spent the money on something that was really money for something important. A roof over your head is important. You spent the money for our roof to get some things to play with. So basically the bottom line is that he's making really bad decisions. He even slept around in the past. She said in the beginning of the relationship, he messed around with another woman, another impulsive decision. She said that it was a stripper that he met at a birthday party. Apparently she danced for somebody's party and he started messing with this girl. Very impulsive kind of decision. It was over before she even found out about it. But the point of the matter is that he does these kind of little bizarre things at times. So she said to me that she feels like their relationship would be a good one if he would get treatment. And I agree with her. I think it would be. But herein lies the problem for her and for anybody that's dealing with this situation. You don't want to leave the person because you don't want to hurt them. But unfortunately, it's going to be almost impossible to stay with the person if they don't get treated. You see, the mistakes that he's made and his behavior has gotten worse over time, not better. These kind of things with mental health has the tendency to either stay the same or get worse over time. It depends on, again, if you're treated. So if it goes untreated, for a lot of people, it eventually spirals out of control. And she said that he's sleeping more often. He's being more, impulsive with his behavior. He's lying to cover up the things that he's done. She trying to hang in there because she loves him and she knows. She said, Queen, how can I walk away from him when he clearly needs help? That's what she said to me. And it broke my heart because I totally understand what she's trying to say. How do I walk away from somebody who clearly needs help But he's not getting the help. He's not even trying. When she brings it up to him, he fights with her about it and goes back to sleep. So my thing is that you have got to do what we call tough love. This is my opinion. My opinion is you have to do tough love with him. And you have to tell him that you're not going to keep on enabling him. Because right now you're enabling him to stay sick. So you got to tell him, I'm not going to keep enabling you. And when you say it, you have to mean it. You probably need to get a little bit of therapy too before you make any kind of decision, because more than likely what's going to happen is you're going to have to pull away from the relationship, let him hit rock bottom and realize he wants to get back up. And I would definitely talk to a professional before I did this, because the chances are he might not get back up. And you have to be prepared for, is this the end of your relationship, or is it a temporary retreat until he takes better care of himself? You can't keep on dealing with this situation as it is and think that it's going to change. I mean, of course you're going to talk to him. I would talk to him. You've already talked to him until you're blue in the face. But then he lies about something else. He does something else erratic. He spends another week not working. He gets a job. You think it's a cool job. He's there for a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, he done quit because the supervisor says something he didn't like. Meanwhile, the light bill is due. And now you got to go borrow the money from your mama. This is what I'm talking about. These things are not getting any better. They keep on happening, and they're going to continue to happen until he decides to be responsible for his mental health and raise himself up. So I would have a conversation with him. I would start to see a therapist to deal with my enabling, and I will start to make a plan to what I want to do next. Because the next thing you do is going to be extremely monumental. You're either going to be walking away from this relationship, or you're going to be 9 times out of 10 walking away from this relationship, or you're going to be dealing, maybe the two of you can go to the therapist together. Maybe the therapist can talk to him. Like, I would try communication first, diplomacy first. I know you've talked to him over and over again. I would talk to him again. I would ask him to go with me to the therapist. And if he said no, I would start going by myself and working through it on my own. Because like I said, if he keeps on going in this direction, you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to step off and branch out on your own. A lot of people I've talked to who've been in this situation tell me, unfortunately, that's where it led to. So my advice is to go to therapy, to work through your own stuff. And if you come to that place in your own therapy that it's time to walk away, your therapist can then help you decide the next step. Okay? And like I said, maybe the therapist can talk to him. Maurice Bernard is one of my favorite actors. He plays Sonny Corinthos on General Hospital. And I don't watch soap operas anymore, but I used to love General Hospital. And Maurice said something that I think is perfect for this situation. Maurice has bipolar disorder, and his character, Sonny Corinthos, also has bipolar disorder. Maurice did this because he wanted to be able to educate people on this particular disorder. And one of the things he said in a video, because he has a channel here on YouTube, and I was watching it, and he said that when he went through his depressed stages, that he said, I just wanted to sleep, because when I was asleep, I was happy. As soon as I woke up, the pain returned. This is exactly how I felt when I was depressed. When I was asleep, I wasn't really happy, but I couldn't feel the pain. In my dreams, I couldn't feel the pain. But when I woke up, it was right there, sitting on my chest. So your husband is going through something that's very painful and very real. And I know you don't want to walk away from him. I feel you. But if he is not going to address it and just drag your family down, he's going to put you in a position where you're not going to have a choice. And that's why I said I would try to pull in a mental health professional before that happens. Okay? So any of you who've dealt with this before, or depression of your own or depression with a partner, please tell us if you were able to turn things around and how did you do that. For me, it was my own depression, and I turned it around by going to therapy. So that was the start. Therapy was the first start. Then I got into energy healing, crystals, magic. The more I got into those kind of things, the better and better I just kept feeling. So that's what I did. So you guys let me know if you have any other ideas for her. Okay? All right, so now let's talk about our positive comments. The first one came from Kath Nito Sanchez. Kath said, I want to ask a question. Why do some Aquarius cut people off, especially family? I already did it because most of my family are toxic ASF. Thanks, Blessed Queen. Aquarius are the kind of people who will cut anybody off. Some people will never cut people off. They'll deal with their crap to the very end. Aquarius are not that kind of people. We are quick to cut somebody off because we value our freedom. We value our peace. We don't like arguing. We don't like all that emotional outbursts all the time. If a people or person is toxic, even family, a lot of Aquarius I know do not mess with their family, or they do from a distance. Okay? Very common for Aquarius. If you ask 20 Aquarius about their relationship with their family, I guarantee you a good majority of them love them from a distance. And that's okay. You don't have to be a part of somebody's life. If somebody, no matter who they are, is toxic, you have the right to decide what boundary you're going to put up with them. And that boundary is up to you, and it doesn't matter if they like it or not. If your family is toxic and you put up a boundary, that's a good thing. But as an Aquarius, it's a very common thing. We very commonly will cut people off who are draining, who are negative. We're not the kind of sign that's going to hang in there forever. We're just not. That's not how we're built. We will try, and many of us, especially if it's family, will go 20 rounds. But once we're fed up, we're fed up. All right, Sir Green. Hey, Sir Green. Sir Green said, Queen, you got it bad though, because your moon is Sagittarius. That's true. My rising is Aquarius, my sun is Aquarius, and my moon is Sag. And I do have it bad because Sagittarius is fire. So that is, for a lot of us, temper. Temper and passion. Those are the two things I got a lot of because of that Sagittarius moon. I'm a Sagittarius. Oh, okay, that's what's up. So I understand that dragon. My family calls me the quiet storm. Laugh out loud. By the way, only weak people think Aquarius are intimidating. I don't know. Maybe they are weak. I don't know. I just know I hear that a lot. People tell me all the time that they find Aquarius or they find me to be intimidating. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Man, I wouldn't hurt a fly. So, you know, it is what it is. And a lot of Aquarius do have a bad temper. And because of the Sagittarius moon, I think it just makes it worse for me. And all that fire in my chart, I think that just makes it worse. But I really do think that a lot of weak people do think Aquarius are intimidating, because some people who find us to be intimidating, it's because they don't stand up in their own lives. But I don't think they're all weak. I think some people misjudge us as mean. If I had $1 for every Aquarius who told me people thought they were mean and they're not, I'd have all the dollars in the Franklin Mint, because I hear that all the time. People tell me that. They'll be like, I swore you were mean. And I'm like, no, I'm just quiet. I just be observing, because in group situations, I don't really like group dynamics. I'm very funny about group dynamics. I don't like it. So in a group, I always fall back. So people always, they have their impressions about why that is. Oh, she's mean, she's stuck up, she's this, she's that. And the truth is, I just don't want to get hurt by the group. And that's usually what ends up happening. The group always either turns on me, and this is in my mind, this might not be the case. This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to turn on me, they're not going to like me, they're going to think I'm weird or something like that. So I always keep my energy back from the group until I figure out who is who and what is what, So I think some people are definitely weak, and I think some people just misjudge us. Aquarius has got to be the most misjudged sign in the zodiac. I swear. I would put money on that. And I think a lot of people misjudge us just by how we look. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So you come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.